And our ambition this time around is, of course, not just to meet, but to surpass that and deliver a Prince of Persia experience unlike anything anyone's ever seen before.
So you've wiped the slate clean. Who is and what is this new prince then?
So our hero this time around actually does not start as a prince. He starts as a wanderer, an adventurer. He lives life day to day, going from adventure to adventure. Basically, as soon as he gets his hand on some money, he'll go back to town and kind of waste it all. That's important for us because it really defines his personality in a very different way from the personality of the sort of more noble previous princes. Why we like that is that the quest that this hero is facing in this game is literally to save the world. And seeing sort of the evolution of his personality and playing with that evolution towards a princely sort of personality is a really neat thing for us to be able to do. Now, of course, I said earlier that this has no chronological connection with the previous Prince of Persia, but that's not to say that there's no connection whatsoever. I mean, this is a heroic action adventure. As I said before, he has the acrobatic and the combat abilities very much like our previous prince, but I like to think even more so.
But you mentioned Sands of Time earlier on. No more Sands of Time?
Time.
No more Sands of Time. All right, and there's also a little special treat in this new Prince of Persia.
Yeah, well, first, I said no more Sands of Time, but let me give you a little bit more about the no more Sands of Time, because I think some people out there will probably be shaking their head in disbelief. It certainly is one of the more controversial decisions we took on this project, but I stand by it 100%. The story of Sands of Time and the gameplay mechanic that was Sands of Time, for those of you who aren't aware, the ability to rewind time through this magical sand that we had in the game, was a really, really neat one, and it allowed us to create a spectacular game. I love the time that I spent on that franchise, and I really honor, I love the fact that I got to have that experience making the third Prince of Persia. But we've sort of told that story, and we sort of used that game mechanic. Maybe one day it'll come back. Maybe there's more to that story to tell. But for now, we wanted to tell a new story. Now, we're not blind to the fact that the Sands of Time as an innovative gameplay mechanic was something that it's hard to give up. I mean, that was a really, really cool introduction, we think, a cool element to the industry as a whole. And I believe quite strongly that the replacement mechanism, the thing we are introducing, the innovation that will replace Sands of Time, will surpass it.
What is it?
Well, let me introduce you to her. Her name is Elika. She is, I believe, a revolutionary AI...
Oh, she's hot!
She is indeed. Yeah, I mean, of course, I was talking earlier about, crafted characters, etc. I mean, it extends all the way down from, the story and the universe all the way down to the characters. Elika went through many iterations, many revisions to create this character that hopefully most people, as soon as they look at her, will say, wow, she's beautiful. But it's not just about being, a love interest. We wanted a support character that's going to integrate into every element of gameplay. When you're fighting, you fight better because Elika helps you. When you're doing acrobatics, you go faster and further because of how you collaborate with her. The puzzles are more interesting because you work with her. When you navigate in the world and you're lost, she helps you find your way. Every single element of this hero's abilities, this amazing action hero's abilities, are taken to the next level because of how he partners up with this fantastic support character.
So she's not a ball and chain. She's not a pain in the butt. She's not something that you've got to wait for and catch you up and that kind of thing in the gameplay. She's there 110% by your side.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this is a pretty bold claim, and I really, some people might, again, think it's a risk to say it, but I'm standing by it. Elika is not going to be a burden. Players are not going to be, like you said, dragging their heels and looking back and getting really frustrated with the fact that she's getting lost, or she's making bad decisions, or she's generally doing dumb things. She's always going to be a positive. So not only is she making the game better, but she's definitely not making the game worse, which is, of course, very important to us.
Now, it's pretty obvious that you are so passionate about this game, and I think it's only right that you introduce, once again, here at Ubidays 2008, another exclusive.
Yeah, so what we're going to show you here today is a teaser trailer. It is the first sneak peek that just scratches the surface at how the Prince and Elika collaborate and interact in this game. So in this trailer, basically, just a quick setup, the two of them are fighting together against one of the creatures in the game, a boss that we call the Hunter.
All right, take it away.
Since the beginning of time, legend has told of an epic battle between darkness and light. But now the darkness spreads, and an unknown warrior will rise. With a deadly new ally. To save a kingdom and restore the light.
Thank you, Ben. I think you'll all agree that leaves you wanting to see more and play more. Thank you, Ben, for introducing us to the Prince and his new ally. Now, speaking of allies, Randy, Colonel, it's your turn. Could you show us, firstly, Colonel, some of the drama that you've created and the story behind it in the new game that you guys are going to introduce to us?
Thank you, Vernon. We're going to show you in a few minutes a trailer that no one has seen before about Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway, and I think you're really going to like it. But you're also going to get a chance tomorrow to come and play the game with us. Randy and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you and show you what a fantastic game it is and how it captures a real essence of a story that you'll want to be a part of. But before we do that, I have to answer a message. There's a message that a friend of mine sent. I called him this morning. He's 82 years old, and 60-plus years ago, he fought in Normandy, he fought in Holland, and he fought in Germany and in Belgium and Luxembourg in the greatest war that his generation ever saw. His name is Ed Panici, and he's someone that I'm proud to call my good friend. When I called him this morning, I asked him a question. I said, I'm going to be talking to all of these people here today. What should I tell them? What can I tell them about what happened 60 years ago that could possibly touch them? He didn't flinch. He said, sir, you tell them this. He said, when we were called upon, we fought. We didn't run. When we were called upon, we endured. We didn't quit. And when we were called upon, we attacked and liberated Europe and didn't quit until the freedom was won. You tell them that. Well, I just did. And now we have to tell Ed something. I need your help. What I'd like to do is send him a message in Houston, Texas. That means everyone here has to participate. So repeat after me quietly first. We'll do it once for practice. Everybody fights? Now everyone has to do this. Ed needs this message. Let's try it again. Everybody fights. Nobody quits. Always attack. Always. All right, now, that wasn't very passionate, so let's try it now with some passion. And think about this, because your today is created by what these brave men did years ago. And we want to get you into that passion to be a part of Brothers in Arms. So repeat after me. Everybody fights!
Everybody fight!
Nobody quits!
Nobody quit!
Always attack!
Always attack!
Hooah!
Hooah!
All right, thank you.
Thank
Randy?
you, Colonel. Thank you, Colonel. Thank you very much indeed. A couple of American guys were loving that. Hooah!
Hooah, John. Thanks a lot, Colonel Antal. You know, these guys that did this stuff, they're better than me. I make video games. I'm no soldier, but I respect them, and I'm proud of what we're doing here. I'm going to show you a new trailer that this is the first time the public's been able to see this. And you know, earlier I talked about about how in Brothers in Arms you can play differently and how you'll feel differently. And I hope